Today, we're talking about the safety squat bar, what it's used for, is it worth adding to your home gym? Let's talk about it. This is really bothering me. There are three features that are really common on these bars. They are the padding, handles, and the cambered bar design. The padding provides comfort to the neck and upper traps. The handles allow the shoulders to remain in neutral instead of that abducted and externally rotated position you see with the traditional barbell squat. The cambered bar design does a couple of things. It moves the center of gravity forward for the lifter compared to the traditional straight bar. And combine this with a slightly higher bar position from the pad, and you're going to have a more upright squat. So what does a more upright squat mean? There's conflicting evidence to suggest that certain muscles are more or less active, but there is a consensus that middle and upper back are more active with the SSB compared to the straight bar. So why would you use this bar over any other bar? Well, the first reason is comfort. If you're someone with shoulder mobility issues, or maybe you're working through an injury, the handles allow you to hold onto the bar without putting undue strain on the shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Similarly, if you're someone who cannot tolerate heavy loading during a traditional squat, for whatever reason, maybe it's back pain or discomfort during the squat, you may have more comfort with the SSB bar for certain movements. The second reason is versatility. Having an SSB bar gives you access to certain exercises that are just hard to do with a straight bar. Or maybe you're bored and want some variety. The SSB bar provides a way to mix things up with your training. If you get yourself in position, let the handles just fall where they're going to fall. That's where you want to be with your hands. So you're not too high up and you're not pulling down. And the key is as you add movement, you're not manipulating the handles too much. So you'll see sometimes as people come up, they'll pull down or they'll push up as they're squatting up and down. You want to keep them in neutral. Core is engaged. Otherwise, the movements look pretty similar to what you're already used to. Here's a list of some exercise examples that you can do with a safety squat bar. Stay tuned because we're going to go through these individually. The first is just your traditional squat. Now, I don't think this replaces the straight bar squat, but I like to switch up my training by just incorporating these safety squat bar squats. The SSB is great for doing calf raises at home because you can take your hands off and stabilize yourself with the squat rack or a wall. And that allows you to really focus on the contraction of the calves. If you prop up your toes on a little block, or here I'm using weights, you'll get a little bit more range of motion for those calf raises. Same thing here. You can prop your heels up during the squat to drive that knee forward over the toes, which is okay. And you're really going to feel that in the quads. You can also combine that with a narrow stance to really hit the quads. Here's an example of a single leg exercise. Just having this bar makes this exercise easy, and I can load it however I need to load it with plates. Here's another single leg exercise. Reverse lunges to a step up is a great exercise. I don't have to worry about staying balanced too much with this bar. It's a great exercise for single leg, quad, and hip strength. Another one you can do with this bar is good mornings. If you've never done these before, I would look up a tutorial. But what we're doing here basically is working on lower back extension. For a lot of these bars, the handles are removable. In this case, mine were. So you don't necessarily have to remove them, but a front squat is a good way to bring that weight even more forward and target the quads. And finally, last but not least, we cannot leave out the barbell curl with the SSB bar. But just like all your curls, don't forget to do them inside the squat rack for best results.